and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eileen, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you a tour of my iPhone 14 in its new iOS 18. I'm very excited. I know you can't see my face, but just trust me when I say I'm smiling. And let's go ahead and get into it. So to start off, this is my lock screen. It is Draculaura themed because I've been trying to inspire this pink and black emo aesthetic, and I'm hoping that this sort of gives off that vibe. Now, as far as the widgets here, I have the world clock here because I have a couple of friends that are studying abroad. Shout outs. Okay, it's just one friend actually, and she's studying abroad and I want to see what time it is. And then I also have this one that shows my battery charging percentage. There's not really a real reason for it to have that there. I just didn't want Spotify to look lonely because next to it I have Spotify, and if I tap this, it'll open my Spotify, which is cool. In the new update, you can change these ones from being the flashlight and the camera, but I like them as that, so I'm just gonna keep that, I believe. Okay, are we ready to open my phone? So here is my iPhone home screen, and it's supposed to be very pink and black, as you could tell, but also it's supposed to mimic a dumb phone because I've been trying to be on my phone less, and having a less stimulating screen makes it a little bit easier for me. I talk a lot more in depth about this in my dumb phone video, so I will link that below. And so these are my apps, and this is a app called Dumbify, and it makes all of my apps into widgets, which is very helpful because you can't see like the notifications on them. So it makes it a little bit less distracting. And of course you can't see the logo, so it's even less distracting. Okay, so if you're wondering how I did all of the app tinting and stuff, I will show you. So you press and hold down on your home screen and click edit in the top left corner. Then you click customize, and you can tint your apps if you click this option right here. And then I like to take the eyedropper and eyedrop the color to be the background. And unfortunately this does only work for dark mode, but also like dark mode girlies rise up, so like I can't complain too much. So that's like super easy and super fun to do. And then if you want it to be large like how I have it, where it deletes like what it says under the apps, I think it looks better this way. And it also confuses me a little more, and I like that because I'm trying to be on my phone less, and the more I'm confused and like bored by my phone, the less I will reach for it. You know, I really do feel like iOS 18 has the ability to really help people with like being on their phone less, because if you tint it all the way to the white, it becomes black and white. And if you had a black background, like this is the most boring freaking iPhone screen I've ever seen in my life. But it's also not like turning on grayscale, which is another method some people use. Because if you turn on grayscale, then when you open the apps, it'll still be black and white. But I don't necessarily want that because I still want to use the apps. I just don't want to use them too much. So I like that you have the option to like really dim down your phone. Okay, and then on this first page, I just keep my most essential apps and also my most essential apps on the dock. And I'll go through a couple of these. So obviously I have the camera and the notes app, but this one is called Beeper, and it's really cool because it replaces Instagram DMs, and it makes like all the DMs that would go to Instagram go onto this app, so you don't have to open Instagram every time you want to answer a DM, and it helps me not fall into the trap of scrolling when I'm trying to be talking to someone. And then of course Spotify. And yeah, I also have my screen time up here just to alert me. I do calculate it like differently anyways, because like sometimes it like counts maps and stuff, and like that's not really fair. Like I'm not on my phone when I'm using maps, so I recalculate it. But just to like give me a general estimation, you know, she's looking a little high today, but that's okay. We all have our bad days. Okay, moving on from this page. This page has a couple of apps still lingering because you can't put every single app into these widgets. I feel like some of them are just a little bit too buggy, and that's okay with me. So I just put them over here, and on my messages, I wanted to see like if I had messages that I'm maybe possibly ignoring. And I also have my to-do list app, which is called Tweek. And this just has like my to-dos. So yeah, I wanted that pretty accessible also. And then over here, I have a couple of apps that couldn't like fit into the widgets correctly. Those are more like my entertainment apps, stuff that I try to do instead of being on my phone scrolling social media specifically. Instead I'll play some Crossy Road. And then I have this folder over here, which is my productivity folder. I'll really quickly go through these apps. So I have Refocus, which is an app that blocks other apps, so it blocks my Instagram from me. And I have Notion, which I love and use all the time to organize myself. I have this app called Habitica, which is a habit tracking app. and I have Storygraph, which tracks my reading and doesn't use GoodNotes because GoodNotes is actually from Amazon and I try to avoid them if I can. I say that, but Audible is on here because they just reliably give me audiobooks, unfortunately. Then I have this app, which is Routinery, and it tracks your routines. Of course, I have Libby, which is a free library app, and I have this app, which is Dumbify, and that's what makes all my widgets look like this. And then I have Outlook and Slack for work. So yeah, and then I just have some more like B-list apps and some more on the third page. And then almost all of my other apps are just in the app library because I am a chronic searcher for apps. I hardly ever like actually go to the app like where it's laid out, except for maybe like the ones that I use the most often. But if I'm looking for like a weird app, I will just search it, and so I don't really care if it's on my home screen, and I don't really want it to take up too much space, which is really nice because I hate having stupid notifications for apps. I just feel like I don't need CapCut to be sending me 11 notifications. Like, that's stupid. Okay, and then I will show you my new control center. So now it's very customizable. If you just hold down, you can customize so much stuff. So I really love that. And I decided to put Bluetooth out on its own because I would always open like this little section and then click Bluetooth to like turn it off and on. But to be able to have the option to turn it off and on so fast is like really helpful. And then I also made my music one bigger because I want to be able to skip and stuff and then just like go straight into Spotify from there. And I kept it like defaulted to a page that's just music, so you know, I kept that there, but I highly doubt I will actually use this, and I feel like I might delete this page, but I just feel like it's so cute for right now to use all the new features of iOS 18 that I wanted to keep it. And I also added this new feature, which is called vehicle motion cues, and so it helps you if you get carsick in vehicles, and you can just turn it on with a click of the button, and then like wherever you move, the dots will sort of like track. And I think that's really cool. I hope it actually helps. I'm really curious to try this out. But yeah, other than that, I kept like all of the same things for the most part that were already in the control center, but I do think it's cool that we now have better ways to customize it. And then quickly on this front page, I have my widgets, and I have the battery widget and then the calendar widget, and then I have weather, and it like tells you the location, so I'm just gonna cover that real quick. But these are like my most helpful widgets. And just to like go over a couple of cool features from iOS 18, oh my gosh, I have to show you this one. So I don't have it because I don't think I will ever use this, but like just knowing it's a thing is really cool and kind of scary. So there's this control down by motor accessibility in the control center. That is super cool, and I really want to show you guys real quick because they added it with iOS 18. It's called eye tracking. And I'm gonna add it and then I'm gonna turn it on. And I really quickly have to like calibrate it. Okay, so I calibrated it and it's tracking where I'm looking. And when I blink, it does the action. That's so crazy. Like, I'm literally looking. Okay, let's open my camera. That's crazy. It did that all by tracking my eyes. It's not perfect, but that's a real game changer for people who might need this. I also like that they improved the calculator. The calculator now can tell you the history of what you've been doing, because like that just makes so much freaking sense. And there's also this thing called math notes where you can like type out an equation and it'll tell you the answer, which is really cool. Let's see. See, like that's crazy. And it's actually something helpful, and I'm glad that they've implemented some really helpful things in iOS 18, because I feel like sometimes Apple updates things and it's just like, girl, are you really even trying? Okay, I am so excited to schedule send text messages because like, I just feel like that can be so helpful. And you just press this little plus button right here, and then you click send later, and then you can pick the time, and then once you send it, you can then edit the time if you want, or you can delete the message before it even hits the air or whatever. So I think that's so cool, especially as someone who's like maybe a bit of an overthinker and like wants to like send a message and then like, you know, you decide later that you didn't actually want to send that message. You can schedule send it, and I feel like it makes me feel a little bit better. And yeah, basically those are the features I'm super excited about with iOS 18. That, and of course the app tinting. And I just wanted to give you a little tour of my phone because I love her so much. I think the pink is so fun, and even though it's like kind of boring, I feel like it still has some sort of personality. I mean, I know maybe you were thinking that, you know, it's me, so the phone should have like a ton of personality and like be super emo and like, you know, probably kind of embarrassing to look at. And don't worry, it is on the inside, but on the outside, you know, I feel like it looks normal. So anyways, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye!